Everything is trash. Nobody cares about the Constitution. Free market capitalism is racist. Basic understanding of economics is for losers, and wokeness is our new social currency. That would have been super fucking dope if in high school and middle school we learned about economics and basic financial understanding instead of fucking palindromes and how to write in cursive. There's a strangely unpopular opinion that pretty much fucking nobody understands, but there should be no federal minimum wage. Let me repeat that. No fucking federal minimum wage! There should be none! First of all, it is not in the Constitution that the federal government has the right to create a federal minimum wage, but these LeBron Jameses just happen to stuff it through because of Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution that says that Congress may regulate commerce. Those who don't understand, the U.S. Constitution was created to protect the rights of the people. The government is elected by the people and for the people to uphold those rights. Smaller government is better government. Giving more power to the structure means less freedom for you. Larger government is bad. Smaller government is good. The Constitution says that the federal government has a limited amount of enumerated powers, only granted to it by the Constitution, meaning that if it does not appear in there, it cannot do it. But as time progresses and the woke scolds become louder, the louder they yell, the more power they ask for, the more power we give to this structure, the more of our freedoms it takes away, and the worse it creates for our standard of living pretty much all the time. Now, back to the topic of the raises. Minimum wage. The mere existence of a government-mandated minimum wage, state or federal, basically means the following. If you, as a free individual, choose to accept or work at a business for a wage less than the stated minimum wage, it is illegal for you to accept an amount that you are willing to accept. Which basically means that the government supposedly knows better than you and your own ability to make a decision free and for yourself to accept a wage that you are willing to accept. It is illegal according to the government. Yet you have financially illiterate clown shoes like Bernie Sandbags, AOC, Joey Diaper, and Kamala Krusty Harris that somehow think that this federal minimum wage is better for you or more fair or is a living wage. Like pretty much every government program, this policy fails to achieve the policy goals that it intends to, and it actually has the opposite effect. Here in the state of Florida, the $15 minimum wage is on the ballot that people are about to vote on right now. Yet so many people are so unaware and uneducated as to what this actually means. Minimum wage reduces employment because if a business owner has the ability to hire you at $10 an hour, $11 an hour, or $12 an hour based on the value that you're able to create for their business, it's illegal for them to hire you now. If an unskilled worker wants to work at a business because they know that they can gain the skills necessary to get them further in their life to elevate their career, but they can't generate at least $15 of value to that business, they can't be employed by them, which means they have no job. This is the exact reason why we have so many unpaid interns, because it's illegal to pay you anything below the stated minimum wage. So instead of having you paid at an amount lower than what's stated, you have no job at all, or you're an unpaid intern. Because of the government, that is the only option available to you. So now you're an unpaid intern when you could have otherwise been a below the minimum wage employed person, gaining experience necessary to create more value for that business and thus be able to earn that higher amount later. The cost of labor, which is a business expense, is on the balance sheet just like anything else, like supplies, like materials, like insurance, like rent, like electricity. If a business is able to generate $20 an hour as a result of your labor, they can hire you for, let's say, $10 an hour. Because in addition to paying for your labor, your hourly wage, they have to be able to pay you in the case of a downturn. They have to pay unemployment, insurance, rent, all of the overhead of the business in the case that it goes down or up. They have to be willing to cover lawsuits in the event that you sue them or you get injured. There's a variety of other expenses that come along with employing a person. Not only just their wage itself, but all of the other things. Not to mention the fact that they're paying a percentage of your taxes, they may be paying for your health insurance, and they're paying a variety of other costs associated with employing you. Minimum wage laws make younger workers and lower skilled workers a lot worse off, and also lowers their future earning potential, because instead of them having a job and being able to gain the skills necessary to improve their value at that job and other businesses, instead they have no job at all. Increasing the minimum wage raises the price of products and services, which more significantly impacts low-income families and individuals. It increases the price of goods and services produced with low-skilled labor. So if you are willing to accept a wage below the government-stated minimum wage, it is illegal for you to do so, which means you don't get to gain those skills, which means you have to be an unpaid intern or have no job at all. And this impacts so many people completely negatively of what they think. It is not a fair wage. It's not a living wage. It's a fucking bunch of bullshit. Any basic economic understanding will let you know that this is a bad thing. So when you're going to go and vote on the ballot, I highly suggest that you do not vote for an increase in the minimum wage. And ultimately, we should try to get to no minimum wage at all.